Welcome to the Football Den. I'm your host, Dan. I'm sorry for the late pod tonight, but boy just got done doing some schoolwork, but I had to get on the pod tonight because we got football season starting tomorrow. So I cannot, not, I cannot not let this day go by without talking about some football because y'all know I got to talk about my football. And we got some good topics today to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Mostly we're going to try to talk about the Cowboys and Eagles. We're going to break down each team. Then I'm going to get my prediction. You know what I'm saying? But we got some great things to talk about today. So the football season's finna start. When you got this great football season, when football season finna start, bro, it's like it's the best feeling. It's the best week. The start of the football season, one of the best weeks of the year, man. There's so much anticipated. Everybody hyped up for their team. I'm hyped up for the Falcons. That's gonna be a great week for any Falcon fan. If you're a Falcon fan, you a fan of any football team, it's gonna be a great week for you. You know what I'm saying? Get your jerseys, get your shirts, you know what I'm saying? Get your costumes, bro, and be ready to cheer for your team. And we'll see you in San Francisco if your team make it there. But hope everybody doing good. Hope everybody having a good night. Let's get into it. But the first topic of the day, let's get into the NFL game opener, NFC East rivalry game. I think it's going to be a good game to start off the season. I'm happy the NFL chose this game to be the week one because I think anytime somebody win the Super Bowl, they should play against a rival. Either it should be their rivalry that's in the division, or it should be somebody that's their rival in the conference. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, you had the Chiefs and Ravens, which is a rivalry team. You know what I'm saying? You had Lions and Chiefs. That's not really a rivalry, but I understand why they did that because you had the Chiefs, a team that's a champion. Then everybody, the hype on the Lions, everybody hyping the Lions up. It made sense for them to have that week one. Like I said, Baltimore Chiefs, no brainer because the rivalry between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, you got to make that happen this year. Dak Prescott, Cowboys, Jalen Hurts, Eagles, NFC East rivalry game. You got to make it happen because you want games that people want to watch. You want games that excite you. And this Cowboys and Eagles game excite me. It really does. I'm super happy that we even doing this. I'm happy that NFL even had this to go because they could have went a lot of ways with it. But you want to start the season off with a banger. And starting the season off with the Cowboys and Eagles make a lot of sense. But I want to get into both teams. And what I mean by that is I want to break down each position on who I feel has the edge. Starting with the quarterback. You got Dak and you got Jalen. Now, say what you want about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, when he's fully healthy, when he plays a full season, he has a winning record. So he might not be impactful or he might not do nothing to get your team over the hump when it comes to the Super Bowl and the playoffs. But when it comes to the regular season, he's a winner. So you got to tip your hat off there and you can't take that away from him. When it comes to Jalen Hurts, winner. Just won a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? Make plays time to time to put his team in position to win. You got to tip your hat off to that. When it comes to this, I'm going to give it to Jalen Hurts just because I trust Jalen Hurts to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott has had many opportunities to get the job done. He couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that cost his team either a playoff win or sometimes a regular season win. So I'm going to give it to Jalen Hurts when it comes to the quarterback side. Now, I believe that Dak Prescott's a better passer than Jalen Hurts. But overall quarterback play and being mobile, you know what I'm saying? You got to give it to Jalen Hurts as a better. Running backs, no brainer. It's Saquon Barkley. I don't care. The Cowboys got three dudes. It's Saquon Barkley, bro. I'm not finna. I don't care. I don't care. It could just be Saquon in their running back room and four guys in the Cowboys. It's Saquon Barkley. My boy just came off a 2,000-yard rushing season. You know what I'm saying? Dominated the playoffs with his legs, dominated the playoffs, and had some good plays and some good little plays. And I keep saying the same thing. What I'm about to say, I'm tongue twisting. Yeah, he had some great plays against the Chiefs. So you got to get at the Saquon. When it comes to the wide receivers, you got to take the Eagles. You got to take the Eagles just because we don't know what George Pickens and that CeeDee Lamb duo, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. We got to see how that mesh first before we start saying they're going to be better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, who's proven, who's both shown they're going to put up production with each other. You know what I'm saying? That both of them are better on the field with each other. So when them two on the field together, they both are productive. You know what I'm saying? I believe George Pickens and CD both will be productive. But right now, you got to get that edge to AJ and Smith just because they've done it already. You know what I'm saying? And CD and Pickens haven't. So I'm going to give the Eagles that. You know what I'm saying? 3-0. When it comes to the offensive linemen, the Cowboys O-line is good too, but the Eagles O-line is great. The Eagles O-line is great. They have one of the greatest, they have one of the best O-lines in the NFL. It's not even close. Nobody barely touches Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts barely get touched. And that's really kind of my issue with him, because you have the best O-line, you still hold the ball for so long. You know what I'm saying? For you to hold the ball that long instead of getting the ball out your hand with that type of O-line that you got, that you're never going to get touched, you ain't going to break a sweat, and you still play that bad sometimes, or you still play average, that's what kind of disappoints me with him. But with all that being said, the Eagles have the best O-line in the NFL. I put their O-line up there. You know what I'm saying? With a Colts O-line. With the Cowboys, like I said, the Cowboys have a pretty decent O-line. With the Chiefs O-line. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at that, I'm going to give the Eagles that, because O-line is proven. They just came off winning the Super Bowl. So you got to give them that. Now let's get into the D-line. When it comes to the D-line, the Eagles have lost a lot of players. The Cowboys, they added in Kenny Clark. And the Cowboys got some young guys. They got a young core guys on that D-line. You know what I'm saying? They can be impactful time to time. But I'm still going to give it to the Eagles because I like Nolan Smith. You know what I'm saying? I like Jordan. I like Carter. I like those guys. I like that combination. And I think those guys, they're going to take another leap this year. I expect Nolan to have at least 7 to 10 sacks. I think Jordan Davis, I expect him to be a run stopper, clog up the hole as a nose guard or a D tackle. You know what I'm saying? Clog up the hole and nobody can get there, be a wall for the defense. Then I expect Jalen Carter to go from I think he was an All-Pro last year, add another All-Pro to the trophy case. That's what I expect from Jalen Carter. Add another All-Pro to the trophy case. That's all I expect from him. You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to probably have about 5-6 sacks, a couple of tackles for loss, you know what I'm saying? A couple of quarterback hits, and just clogging up the holes, you know what I'm saying? Helping his teammates out so they can make plays. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you're not going to see on the rap sheet, stuff you're not going to see on the stat sheet. So respect to that. So I give them that. When it comes to the cornerbacks, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give it to the Cowboys on this reason. The only reason why I'm going to give it to the Cowboys, because the Cowboys secondary, even though those guys been there, that all those guys wasn't full-time starters. Now, at least the Cowboys, they're coming back with the same secondary that they had last year, basically. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the guys that's coming in for the Eagles, they're playing out of their position. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Rush. I say Cooper Rush. I mean, Cooper DeJean, you got to realize, he came from the nickel. He was a nickel. Now he's playing free safety this year. So this is his first time even playing free safety. He probably played something in college, but he ain't played nothing in the NFL. So he's going from a nickel to a free safety. The only dude that's coming in that started last year from that secondary consistently and is coming back to play his predominant position is Quinyon Mitchell. Everybody else, this their first time being a starter. So with that being said, I'm going to give it to the Cowboys with Trayvon, with Bland, with Hooker, and all those boys. You got to give it to them just because the experience and them being together longer than the Eagles team who's rebuilding the secondary. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get their young guys to compete, to make plays. Because, you know what I'm saying, there's no reason to keep all those old heads after you win the Super Bowl. Once you win the Super Bowl, you might well play your young guys, see what you got. We'll see what you got out of them. And I think that's what the Eagles are doing. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but I just think the Cowboys right now have a better secondary than the Eagles just because the experience and the veterans they have on that secondary and those guys playing together longer. So I'm going to get that to the Cowboys. Now, when we look at the middle linebackers, I'm going to get that to the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I like the Eagles. I like Braun and Nakobe Dean. I think they're better than what the Cowboys have. So I give them that. You know, and kicker, when it comes to kicker, Elliott, come on, bro. Elliott been in the game. He been kicking that ball consistently, doing this thing for a minute. Now, he had a bad little stretch. I think, was that a Super Bowl or the divisional run? He had a bad little stretch in the playoffs that had me like, oh, the kicker going to cost the Eagles a Super Bowl. But besides that, he's usually accurate. He's usually consistent. So give me that. You know what I'm saying? So the Eagles, the Cowboys lost everything but one, which is the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean they're going to lose. It doesn't mean they're a bad team. I just think the Eagles, with a lot of those guys coming back, the only position that's inexperienced coming from the Eagles is a secondary, because a lot of those guys, it's gonna be their first time being a full starter. So that's the only issue with them. That's the only knock on them. But besides everything else, everybody that's coming back played on the team last year. Super Bowl winning team. Now when you look at the Cowboys team, everybody's coming back for them too, because the majority of those guys are on contract. So a lot of those guys are coming back. Michael Parsons gone, but they bring in a guy like Kenny Clark, who can get to the quarterback from the inside, but also be a great run stopper for the team too. And like what Dak Prescott said, something that Micah's not, which is a leader. So when you have that, that's something that the Eagles, they'll have to be scared of, that you have a Kenny Clark, because you have to prepare for him. You have to double team Kenny Clark. I think how dominant that the Eagles O-line is, I think they will try to double team Kenny Clark, because he's somebody that you do have to value and have to stop. But at the same time, when it comes to running the ball and looking how dominant the Eagles D-line is, bro, it don't really matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So overall, bro, to conclude this, I'm gonna give it to the Eagles. I think the score is gonna be 20-27 Eagles. I think Saquon Barkley is gonna have a good game. I think CeeDee Lamb is gonna have a great game. Dak and Jalen, I think they're both gonna have good games. I think he's gonna play better than Jalen based on the numbers. But I think Jalen is gonna do what he always do. He's gonna make plays with his feet. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make accurate throws in crucial moments. And I think the Eagles are gonna pull it off 20-27. So that's my prediction on that. Now, when it comes to Dak, a lot of people hate on Dak, bro. And I really don't. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I understand it. It's warranted because of the playoff flops. When you look at Dak Prescott, his playoff flops are horrible. Stephen A. Smith always says this: when everything's going wrong, everything's going right, don't let it be you. When your team is bad, don't let it be you. He says that all the time. And that's always Dak. It's always him most of the time. It's never the team. It's always him. When you look at that Rams game, it was him. When I look at that 49ers game, it was him. When I look at that Packers game, it was him. It wasn't majority him, because the defense was a no-show, but it was him throwing a pick six and throwing a couple of interceptions. So you take it all into consideration. I understand why people come so hard at Dak. But let me just be, like I said previously about Dak. Dak is a winner, y'all. And I think sometimes it's a little unfair how we treat him, though, because we make it seem like he's just a scrub. And the reality is he's doing the same thing Tony Romo did. He's doing the same thing Tony Romo did. Dak has to show up in big moments, but let's not make it seem like Dak's just terrible. He's not, bro. If Dak Prescott is at his best, he can win a Super Bowl with him. I truly believe that. When Dak Prescott at his best, you can win a Super Bowl with him. But when he's not at his best, you're never going to win nothing. Because when he's not at his best, he's at his worst. When he's not at his best, he's at his worst. But Dak, I've seen him throw 37 touchdowns in the season. I've seen him go back and forth with quarterbacks and win, duel it out with quarterbacks and win. But it just, when it comes to the playoffs, bro, I don't know if it's just he don't have the it factor. I don't know if it's just the jitters. He gets nervous, but he's a no-show. The last time he was successful in a playoff game, actually played up the part, was the Buccaneers game. But you can really be honest and say that Buccaneers team is very old, and they shouldn't have been in the playoffs in the first place. But that doesn't matter, though, because you play who you play, and Dak played his butt off. He outplayed Tom Brady. I give you that. But then look at that divisional game against the 49ers. He threw 2 picks, bro. The 49ers offense with Brock Purdy was unstoppable. They were literally unstoppable. The Dallas Cowboys held them to less than 20 points, and they still lost the game. They held them less than 20 points. They was all after Christian McCaffrey. That was Brock Purdy's worst game. You could say that was Brock Purdy's worst game of his rookie year, because every other game he was killing everybody and dominating everybody. That was the only game you looked at and say, okay, Brock Purdy, he's a rookie. You could tell Brock Purdy was a rookie that game because how good the Dallas Cowboy defense was. But Dak didn't come to the party. Everybody else came to the party to play except for Dak. And it cost him the game. Look at the Rams game in 2019, 2018 divisional round. That game, come on, bro. The Cowboys defense was straight. They were stopping the running game. It wasn't like Jared Goff was darting them up. It wasn't even like that. It just Dak couldn't make no plays. And when you keep your defense on the field all day, it's inevitable for them to just give up some points or them give up a big run or give up a deep ball, bro, because they human, just like everybody else. And the offense, they got guys on there, they get paid too to make plays. So that happens. So I get it. Like I say, I'm breaking it down. I get it. But just let's give Dak another year, man. Let's give Dak some time, man. Let's give him another chance. Let's give him a chance. This year could be, I ain't gonna say he's gonna win a Super Bowl, but if he can get them at least to a NFC championship game, I think all the doubt and all the hate Dak get, I think it'll shut up a little bit. Because he's proven he can at least win 2 playoff games to get there. Or win one. Let's say the Cowboys are the number 1 seed. They just need to win the divisional, not the NFC championship. He just need to show that he can get a team to a championship game to compete for a Super Bowl. That's all Dak really has to do. And I think once he does that, he'll shut up. Just like Matt Ryan had to do the same thing. Matt Ryan had to do the same thing, bro. Phillip Rivers had to do the same thing. Drew Brees had to do the same thing. And I think that's why I don't think like the criticism that I think it is fair. I think it's fair. What I think is unfair is when we try to make it seem like he just a scrub, because that's not true. When Dak is healthy, fully healthy, he put up crazy numbers, bro. And the Cowboys be winning. So we ain't gonna act like he's a winner in the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, I understand. You know what I'm saying? He's only had 2 playoff wins. Seahawks wild card in 2018, then he beat the Bucks in 2022. So I get that. But let's slow the road on the bye-bye Dak in Dallas, because I don't think so, man. He's still young. He's only like, what, 29, 30 years old, so he's still young relatively. He's relative to now, you know what I'm saying? Based on how these young guys are, he's still young. So just give him opportunity. Let's give Dak another chance, man. That's all I had. Just give Dak another chance. He's still young, bro. Give him a chance. Because who you going to get in Dallas? Who are you going to get? You're not going to get nobody. You're not going to get. And Dak don't put up. Let's go look at Dak numbers. Oh, boy. Let's go look at that. Let's go to that real quick. Here we go. So look, okay. Total record, he's 76-46. So he has, okay. He has 30 more wins than losses, which is good. He has a winning record overall. He has 213 passing touchdowns total, 82 interceptions. And he's thrown for 31,000 yards total. And like I said, let's look at it. 13-3 rookie year, 9-7, 10-6, 8-8, 2-3. He got injured. I remember that's 2020. He got injured, but he had a game where he threw for 500 yards. He was putting up crazy numbers before he got hurt. Dak was putting up crazy numbers before he got hurt. And I think they would have made the playoffs. How bad that division was in 2020. I think the Commanders. I think the Commanders won the division like at 7-9, 6-10. How bad that division was in 2020. I think Dak could have got it the Cowboys to the playoffs that year. 2021, 11-5, 37 touchdowns. The next year, 22, he got hurt. Cooper Rush came in for a couple of games. He came back. He did lead the league in interceptions. He didn't play well. He redeemed himself in the playoff game in the wild card, beating Tom Brady. Then he flopped. And he did flop in the divisional game. I give you that. Next year was a great MVP candidate. Some say in 2023 he should have won MVP. Some say that. Made an All-Pro, second in MVP category. They gave it to Lamar. I don't understand how Lamar won it, in my opinion. I thought, in my opinion, neither him or Dak should even touch the MVP. It should have been Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey had a crazy year. Yeah, 31. He got hurt. He was playing terrible. He probably had his first losing season as a full starting all games last year. So that would have been the year people would have clowned him. I think he would have probably, if Dak would have stayed, they probably won. They probably been 7-10. They probably won 7-10 if Dak would have stayed fully healthy during that season. He threw 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He wasn't that good. The team overall wasn't that good, but he wasn't over. He was bad. He was bad last year. But based on just the history, when I'm looking at 10-6, 11-5, 8-4, 12-5, Dak Prescott usually has a winning season. Every year he plays all 17 games. So based on that history, I'm going to predict that Dallas have a winning record this year. They're going to have a winning record, and they'll probably go 9-8, 10-7. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not, but I predict that Dallas should be at least a 9-8, 10-17. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, you can't, sometimes recency bias confuses us because we'll look at just one thing from the recent year and not look at the whole catalog of years. When I'm looking at the history of Dak Prescott, when he's fully healthy, the Dallas Cowboys are winning. That's just the facts. When he's fully healthy, the Dallas Cowboys are winning. So based on that, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I expect him to bounce back from the 2024 season. And I think the Cowboys, they should be pretty good. They should be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're going to be pretty great. I don't think they're going to be great. But they should be pretty good. They should, like I said, last year, where they go, 6-11? They could easily be 9-8 this year. They could easily be 9-8. Like I said, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs or not. But I do predict they have a winning record. Middle of the pack, 9-8, 10-7 team. Dak put up some productive numbers. I think he'll put up some great numbers. You know what I'm saying? Some good numbers. Probably throw about that used it. Let me look at his passing yards. Okay, he thrown for 4,000 twice. Yeah, so I'll say about 35 to 38, 35 to 40,000 passing yards between, I'll say 27 to 32 passing TDs, and he throws double-digit interceptions a couple of times. So I'll say between 8 to 12 interceptions. And Dallas Cowboys, they should be pretty good. Now, that's Dak. That's all I ask y'all. I know y'all, a lot of people don't like Dak. I know a lot of y'all don't like Dak. I know a lot of times you probably done betted some money on Dak and he let you down. I know. But just give him the benefit of the doubt. And he's probably going to bounce back. Let's give him the benefit out that he bounces back because he has a history of bouncing back from having bad records. Look at the 2020, even though that he did get injured, 11-5. He threw 37 touchdowns, which is a franchise record. And he threw for 4,400 yards. So, based on the history, if you get a bad Dak, the next year you get a good Dak. So I'm betting that I get a good Dak next year for the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Now let's get into Jalen Hurts. So when it comes to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, I'm not doubting a lot. First of all, let's start like this. A lot of people have stuff to say about Jalen Hurts, positive and negative. Positive and negative. I get that Jalen Hurts has a lot of fans based on the stuff that happened in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And how he reacted and how he acted after the fact. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people respected that from him, but a lot of people respect him for that because a lot of people reacted in how he did. Getting benched in the championship game for a freshman and still embracing that freshman. A lot of people ain't got the heart and guts to do that, bro, because egos are involved, especially at the quarterback position. A lot of quarterback position, egos, a lot of 9 times out of 10, egos messes up a lot of things when it comes to the quarterback position. All quarterbacks have egos because you're the guy. You touch the ball every time to get the offense going. You're going to be the guy that touched the ball first to get the offense going. And so you're going to have a type of ego. You're going to have an ego because at the end of the day, the team depends on you, and you have to have the confidence that you can score every drive. Every chance I get this ball, I'm going to score. Every chance. And Jalen Hurts' case, it don't matter if the touch push, he run it, he throws it, the team is going to score. And I respect that about him. And like I say, mad respect how he handled the Alabama situation. Then he goes to Oklahoma, was incredible there, was a Heisman finalist, and helped guide them to a playoff spot. They got their butt beat, but he played to the whistle blown. He played his butt off to the whistle was blown. Even though it was a loss, he played his butt off. Got drafted, second round pick. A lot of people doubted him, and he's overcome all the obstacles that a lot of people at his size and his situation probably would never couldn't defeat. So he's defeated a lot of obstacles, and I respect him for that. But let's just be honest, bro. Jalen Hurts, still has deficiencies that even though they're winning, as a fan and as somebody that loves the game, you could still critique and call out. This notion of just because you won a Super Bowl, you can't critique him is crazy. Tom Brady's won multiple Super Bowls and we still critique him. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, we critique him. So the Super Bowl stuff, Drew Brees won a Super Bowl, we critique him. So that just because you win a Super Bowl doesn't matter because everything is on a year-on-year basis. We're not going to 5 years from now, we're going to always talk about Eagles winning the Super Bowl, but that's not, if Jalen Hurts sucks 5 years from now, you can't keep saying, well, he won a Super Bowl. Okay, but he won it 5 years ago, though, bro. We're talking about now. He's inaccurate. He keeps holding the ball keep holding the ball so fucking long. He keeps holding the goddamn ball. Why you keep holding the ball? Stop holding the ball. He keeps holding the ball. He keeps holding the ball. He keeps holding the ball. That's all people are going to say because he does it now. With a great offensive line like that, for you to hold the ball all day like that, bro. It's unacceptable when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. One of the best wide receiver duos in the game. Top 3. Some people think best. I'm not going to argue if you do think they're the best because they are great. But Jalen Hurts had deficiencies. It's a reason why you got a man like A.J. Brown sitting on the sideline reading books because Jalen Hurts has deficiencies. And that's okay to say that. It's okay to say Jalen Hurts has deficiencies. I don't get why people are scared to say that. I don't get why people get so mad that other people say that. When it's just the truth. We're not saying he's not good. We're not saying that he's terrible. We're not saying that he doesn't make great plays because he does make great plays. He can get out the pocket and sling that thing down. He can throw an accurate deep ball for a touchdown. We've seen him make all the throws. We know he can make throws. But it's a lot of times, including especially this year, where you could tell he wasn't playing well and the Eagles said, oh, let's get the ball out of your hand and put it in the Saquon's. That's telling. That's telling. And people can critique that. I don't get why people get so mad. People can critique that and say, yes, I like Jalen Hurts. But sometimes he gets in his own way. Sometimes he holds the ball too long. Sometimes he's inaccurate. And you can say that. But for people to get so angry, then get so personal because people critiquing Jalen Hurts, I understand he won a Super Bowl for you, Philly. But Philly, you can't be blinded. You can't be blinded by facts. You can't be blinded. When facts come in the room, bro, I don't care how you feel, bro. Your emotions go out the window. But the problem is when people start speaking facts about Jalen Hurts, people, Eagle fans or people that like him, just get super, super, super emotional for no reason. And it's weird. Jalen Hurts is a good player. Nobody's taking it away from him. He can make plays. We've seen him make plays. We've seen him be an all-pro in 2022. We've seen all of that. He can be great. But if you look at his last 2 years, not 2022, just the last 2 years, he's been good to average. Average to good. It's just plain to say he's been average. He's been good. He's been average. He hasn't been great. He has not been great. Give me a game where he's been great this year or last year. Give me a game. You cannot give me that, bro. Don't give me no tush push, bro. Cause we can break every game down and we can go watch the highlights of it. Or we can watch the full game of the context, bro. You're not gonna tell me, oh well, the running game is going. He ain't making no passes, but he get a tush push that counts as a touchdown. So no, we're not doing that, bro. Let's break the game down. Let's break down every throw that he's made. Just critique it like that, but you don't want to do that. You just want to go based on, oh, they won. They won. They won. They won. You can't do that because Trent Dilfer won. So Trent Dilfer, the greatest quarterback of all time. Brad Johnson won. So is Brad Johnson the greatest quarterback of all time? Jim McMahon won. So he the greatest quarterback of all time? No. Just because you won the Super Bowl does not mean everything you've done bad goes out the window. No, you still need to improve on the cons that you have. You still need to improve on your deficiencies. Now, I think I argue that Jalen Hurts came a long way. I think Jalen Hurts has come a long way from who he was previously as a passer to now. I see incredible improvement when it comes to his passing ability, when it comes to how he throws the ball, his footwork and all that, bro. When you go look at his college tape to now, the footwork and all that's different. You do give him credit for that. But like I say, his deficiency still showing games, bro. Holding the ball too long, footwork being bad, poor footwork, and just being inaccurate. And that can frustrate you as a wide receiver, especially if you run a Chris route or you burn the DB and you looking back and the quarterback still holding the goddamn ball. Like, nigga, throw the fucking ball. Throw the ball on time. Like I told y'all. Just like I told y'all, give Dak some grace, I'm going to give Jalen Hurts some grace. Main reason why he just won the Super Bowl. So I'm going to give you some grace for that, my boy. He just won the Super Bowl. Cool. But I'm going to give Jalen Hurts some grace. I expect Jalen Hurts tomorrow I think Jalen's gonna be a little bit mobile. I think he's gonna rush for about 60 yards. I think he's gonna throw for about like 200 to 250. He's gonna throw a touchdown or two. And that's a solid game for them. Cause I think they're probably gonna be predominantly running the ball the whole game. So you probably won't see Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying, drop back 30 times. But I think he's gonna throw the ball between like 18, 23 times in this game. I think AJ Brown is going to get some looks. Devontae Smith going to get some looks. I think everybody going to get some looks. You know what I'm saying? But I think the whole game, the game plan for the Eagles, especially on their offense, to get Saquon going. That's going to be the offense. Let's get Saquon going. And if you can't stop Saquon, it's going to be a long day for you. Then we're going to get you off that play action. Now, AJ, boom. Devontae Smith, boom. And it's going to be a long day for you. And if the Cowboys can't stop the running game, then you most definitely going to start the passing. Because even though I give the Cowboys the edge when it comes to the cornerbacks, it's not too many dudes that can stop AJ Brown one-on-one, bro. It's not too many dudes. When it comes to man-on-man coverage, bro, AJ Brown, he wins his battles all the time. So he's unstoppable. So I don't care if it's Diggs. I don't care if it's Bland. So the Cowboys have to stop the running game because predominantly the whole game, the Eagles going to run the ball. The Eagles, I expect to run the ball about 30 times tomorrow. And if the Cowboys can't stop that and they trying to depend on Dak Prescott arm to win the game, a duel like that, you're going to run, they're going to run, we're going to throw. It's going to be a long day for them. Because first of all, if you're trying to do that, then by default, the Eagles they're going to be winning on time of possession because now they're going to be able to control the clock. Because you can't stop the running game with it, now the game is in their hand. Because what most teams want to do when you can run the ball like the Eagles, control the clock, time management. Put the defending team in a position to where now every time we get the ball, we got to score. Just like I told you how Georgia Tech is, that's how the Eagles are. We're going to run the ball down your throat. We're going to control possession of the time, control possession of the ball. And if you can't do nothing when you get the ball, it's going to be a long day for you. Now, I think the Cowboys can score. Like I say, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, there's no way they can't score with them boys. And with a lot of those guys in the secondary being this their first year starting, they're going to mess up. They're going to have mishaps. So it's inevitable. If they get bombed on, I'm not going to be surprised because, you know what I'm saying, they haven't played together. But once they get their rapport with each other, get the chemistry, I think the secondary going to be good. But for this game, this being the first game, I think Cowboys can expose the secondary for the Eagles. I don't think they're going to win. But I think they can expose and win some battles with CeeDee Lamb and Pickett. So that's my thoughts on that, man. And just like I said, with the Jalen Hurts thoughts, I'm gonna give him, like I said, last 2 years, he has been average. And he hasn't played that good. But this is a new slate, it's 2025 season. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and I expect him to be good. And I expect him to be the strength of the team and not one of the weaknesses. So that's my thoughts on that. So cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today, man, for a good little 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Appreciate y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow on the Be Like That podcast. We got some things to talk about that tomorrow. You know, I like to strictly talk about football on this with the football den. When it comes to the Be Like That podcast, we talk about anything, everything, sports, Hollywood, movies, you know what I'm saying, music. You get all that on that Be Like That podcast. When you come to the football den, all you gonna get is football, 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 football. So that's all we're gonna talk about today. Had to get into it. NFL season start tomorrow. Like I said, get your costumes out, get your jerseys out, get your tickets to go to the game. I'm probably have to go to about 2 Falcon games this year. I'm gonna have to, because hell nah. Last year I didn't go to none. The year before I did, but I got to, man. The season gonna be lit. Atlanta gonna be lit. Michael Penix his first year. I expect him to be well. I expect the Falcons to be decent. You know what I'm saying? I expect them to be good. So I gotta go to the game to see my future quarterback and Penix. And so, man, like I said, bro, I appreciate y'all. Hold on, before we go, let's talk about Penix real quick. My bad. Let me get into Penix real quick. So Michael Penix. I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of what I expect from Michael Penix this year. So Michael Penix this year, bro, all I expect, like I said before, is just show us that you're the future. Show us that you're the future. Show us that we can depend on you to lead us to win NFC South championships. To win an NFC championship. To compete to win a Super Bowl. If you can show us that, bro, you good. You good in my eyes. I don't care what others. A lot of Falcon fans are delusional. And some could be like Cowboys fans where they just delusional to think that we should win the Super Bowl every year. Me personally, bro, with somebody that watches with the moves that every team make during the offseason, and somebody that watch interviews to learn about the team's strengths and weaknesses, I don't expect that from the Falcons. It's not that team. This is let's get it to a playoffs and whatever happens, happens type of team. Let's get to the playoffs and we'll see what happens. That's the type of team it is. Let's get to the playoffs and we'll see what happens type of team. This ain't no we're ready to win now team. They're not. We're ready to compete for a championship. They're not. This is can we get in the playoffs and see what happens? Similar to like the 2023 Packers team. That's what the Falcons are looking like right now. So with Penix, all I expect, man, 20 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like him who's slaying that thing around, I expect him to probably have about 10 to 12 interceptions. But I expect him to throw about at least 23 to 28 touchdowns this season. You know what I'm saying? At most, I think he'll have, if I can see him getting to 30. So I say 25 to 30 touchdowns this season. I can see him throwing about 3,500 to 4,000 yards. And just having a decent season, man. Making plays, you know what I'm saying? Giving the ball to Drake London, giving the ball to Mooney, Ray McLeod, Hodges. Just, you know what I'm saying, throwing the ball and giving the playmakers opportunities to make plays. You know what I'm saying? Handing the ball off to Bijan, that great backfield with Smith, Algier. So, I say all I expect from Penix, just show us that you're the future. And if you can do that, bro, you good in my eyes. And I'm going to watch you all the time. That's all I wanted Matt Ryan to do. Just show us that you can lead us to compete for championships and playoff runs. If you can do that, we good. If you can't, then damn, I don't want you here. Marcus Mariota desperate to show they couldn't do that. Matt Ryan had years of showing that he can do that, and I think Penix could be that guy that has multiple years of leading the Falcons to playoffs or championship runs. So that's my thoughts on Penix. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the pod, man. I appreciate y'all, man. This is a show. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Podcast show. I'm tripping. It don't matter. But like I said, I appreciate y'all for watching today. I would clip this up, get some shorts out. You know what I'm saying? I clip up each topic that we talked about. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for watching the Football Den, and we out, man.